Well, hello. Let's get ready for Geometry Chapter 1. See what kind of fun stuff we have to look forward to, the stuff that we should already know in order to feel comfortable about Chapter 1. Solving equations. Not only are we solving equations, it looks like right off the bat I have to combine like terms. So let me do that. Let me say that I have negative 3r plus 2r. When you combine those, you have negative r or negative 1r. It doesn't matter if I have the negative 1 or negative r there, as long as it's negative and an r. I divide both sides by negative 1. Get r all by itself. Cross u out. Negative 1 divided by negative 1 is 1. So r equals 1. All right. Oh, look, distributive property. 6 times negative x is negative 6x. 6 times negative 3 is negative 18. And on the left side, I have 24. Now it's a two-stepper. So I have to get rid of negative 18 and negative 6. So I'm going to get rid of negative 18 first by adding 18. Adding 18, that's going to give me 42 on the left. 42 equals negative 6x. Is x all by itself? Nope. What is in the way? Negative 6 is in the way, so let's divide everything by negative 6. Divide everything by negative 6. Cross u out. I get negative 7, and I'm going to put my x on the left while I'm at it. All right. Good job, me. Good job, me. I hope it gets harder because that was pretty easy. Nice. So I have variables on both sides of the equal sign, and I have distributed property on the right, and it looks like I'm going to end up combining like terms on the right. So let me do that. Let's do negative 7 times negative 6 is positive 42, as we saw in the previous problem. Negative 7 times positive 8 is negative 56n. Plus 3 comes along for the ride on the right side. Negative 16 plus 5n comes along for the ride on the left side. Can't combine anything on the left side, but I can combine 42 and 3. It's going to make 45. And then I have minus 56n. And on the left side, I have negative 16 plus 5n. Okay. What I'll do is I'll get rid of one of my variables first. I like getting rid of the smallest variable, and the smaller of the variables here is negative 56n. So I'm going to add 56n, and again, I'm doing this because I have variables on both sides of the equal sign. Cross u out. That gives me negative 16 plus 61n equals 45. Now it's a two-step equation. I'm going to add 16 to both sides. (61n) equals, who would have thought, 61. Is n all by itself yet? Nope. I'm going to divide everything by 61, and 61 over 61, or a number divided by itself, as evidenced from a previous problem again, is 1. Crazy. All of that math just to get a measly 1. What a disappointment. What a disappointment. Similar type of problem over here on the left. It looks like I have distributed property right away, so I'm going to handle that right away. 2 times 5k is 10k. 2 times negative 6 is negative 12. On the left side, along with all that, I have negative 4k. So I have negative 4k plus 10k minus 12 equals negative 3. That looks awful. Equals negative 3k minus 39. So this whole line looks terrible, but that's all right. I'm going to fix it right now. On the left side, I have a negative 4k directly next to a 10k, so that becomes 6k on the left minus 12 equals negative 3k on the right minus 39. I have a variable on both sides of the equal sign. Like I said in the previous problem, I like getting rid of the smaller one. So I'm going to add 3k to both sides, add 3k to both sides, and cross you out. That gives me 9k minus 12 equals negative 39. Two-step equation. I have 9 in the way. I have negative 12 in the way. Always get rid of the number that's floating around first. So I'm going to add 12 to both sides. Add 12. Add 12. Cross you out. 9k equals, what is that, negative 27. Is k all by itself? No. Divide everything by 9. And k equals negative 3. Chapter 1, you're going to have to do a lot of solving equations problems. Maybe not ones this crazy, but it's good to know how to do these types of problems. Even the wackiest of problems, it's good to know how to do it. Which leads me into what we're about to do. If I have to find the missing angle of a triangle, I know a fact about triangles. All three angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So I'll call you B because you're angle B. I know that 100 plus 55 plus B equals 180. And I know there's easier ways of doing this mentally, but I'm purposely setting up the equation angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 equals 180 on purpose. This gives me 155 plus B equals 180. Is B all by itself? Nope. What is in the way? I'm going to subtract 155 because 155 is in the way. Subtract 155. Cross you out. And B is going to equal 25. So the missing angle, which you call an angle, the measure of angle B is 25, and we measure angles in degrees. Okay? Again, looking up here, you were like, couldn't I just say 180 minus 55 minus 100? Yes, but what I want to show is that this angle plus this angle plus this angle equals 180. Why do I want to show that? Well, for problems like this guy, right here, find the measure of all three angles. It's not as simple as saying 180 minus this minus that. I have a lot more to do here. So I have angle A, I have angle B, and I have angle C. And in the end, I have to find each one. Before I do that, I have to find X. So like if X was 10, I would plug in 10 for X, and I'd plug in 10 for X down here and plug in 10 for X down there, and I'd get all three angles. But I don't know what X is. It could be 10. I've never done this problem. We'll see. What I do know is all the angles in a triangle add up to 180. So angle A, which is 3x plus 28, plus angle B, which is 5x plus 52, plus angle C, which is 2x minus 10, is going to equal 180. Now, I went in alphabetical order. Do I always have to do that? No, but I'm making a video here, trying to be nice, trying to be accurate. I have a 3x on the left. I also have a positive 5x on the left. And I also have a positive 2x on the left. 3 plus 5 plus 2 is 10, so 3x plus 5x plus 2x is 10x. How sweet. Because 10x sugar is a type of sugar. I also have 28 plus 52. 28 plus 52 is 72. No, 80. 80. I don't know why I said 72. 80, but minus 10 is 70. So minus 10 is 70. Oh my goodness gracious. Actually, tell you what, I did that on purpose. Equals 180. Two-step problem. Add 70. I made a mistake. I made a mistake. That should be plus 70 and not minus 70. It would be nicer if it was plus 70, but it's not. That should be plus 70. I knew something was funny there. So 10x plus 70 equals 180. Minus 70. Minus 70. And you have 10x equals 111. Divide 10 from both sides, and you get x equals 11. Does that answer my question? No. But does that help me answer my question? Yes. Because now what I have to do is I have to find the measure of all three angles. So let me do angle A in blue. I now know that x is 11. So 3 times 11 is 33, and 33 plus 28 is going to be 61. So I can over here, and I'll just write the answer at the very tippy top. The measure of angle A is 61 degrees. Let's do angle B here in green. So 5 times 11 is 55, plus 52 is 107. So the measure of angle B is 107 degrees. And we'll do that last one in black. I haven't used that color yet. 2x minus 10. So 2 times 11 is 22. The Taylor Swift special minus 10 is 12. So the measure of angle C is 12 degrees. I know that I did this right because if I were to add 61 plus 107 plus 12, I'd get 180 degrees. So 61 plus 107 is 168, plus 12 is 180. I did it right. And I almost did it wrong at the very beginning. But isn't that math? Sometimes you just have to make them. Maybe sometimes you just have to crack a few eggs to make some omelets. What the heck are these? Right triangles. And the way I find the missing side of a right triangle is I use good old Pythagorean theorem. What's that? This is Pythagorean theorem. Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared, where c is always the longest side. So I'm trying to find c, the longest side. I can call you A and I can call you B. So if I plug that into that equation, I'm going to replace A with 5. So 5 squared plus, I'm going to replace B with 12. So 12 squared. And that's going to equal C squared. What's 5 squared? 25. What's 12 squared? 144. And what's C squared? I don't know. Well, actually, I do know it's 169. So if C squared is 169, am I done? No, I'm not trying to find C squared. I'm trying to find C. That squared's in the way. How do I undo a square? A square root, of course. And the square root of 169 is 13. So C equals 13. Do I have a unit, inches, feet, meters? Nope. So C is just 13. Let's do it again. I have a squared plus b squared equals c squared. My longest side has to be c. My hypotenuse is going to be 10. They already called that a, so I'll call you b. So knowing what I know, I rewrite out my Pythagorean theorem, but instead of a, I actually keep a. So a squared. Instead of b, I have 8. So 8 squared is going to equal, instead of c, 10 squared. A squared didn't change. 8 squared is 64. 10 squared is 100. Now A is not near all by itself. I have to get rid of 64, so I'm going to subtract 64 from both sides. Minus 64, cross you out. A squared equals 36. Is A all by itself? Nope. What's in the way? Squared. How do I get rid of a squared? The opposite of a squared is square root. And A equals 6. And in this case, it's going to be 6 centimeters because that's the unit that it gave us. Okay? One more concept, and then we're ready for Chapter 1 in geometry. Find the slope connecting the points. Well, in order for me to find the slope connecting points, I need the good old tried and true slope formula. M equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. The way I do these is I label my points. I'll call you x sub 1, y sub 1, and I'll call you x sub 2, y sub 2. I'm going to rewrite out my formula again. I always write out my formula, even if it seems unnecessary. M equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. I called y sub 2, I called that negative 7, so I'm going to replace y sub 2 with negative 7. Always the minus sign in the middle. Always the minus sign in the middle. Y sub 1 is 4, so I'm going to put 4 in its place. Over x sub 2, I called 6, so 6. Always the minus in the middle. X sub 1, I called negative 3. If you see a double negative, like I do on the bottom, make it a positive. Perfect. Now you'll never notice. That's going to equal negative 7 minus 4 on the top is negative 11. And 6 plus 3 on the bottom is 9. So negative 11 divided by 9 is the same as negative 11 over 9. And that's my slope connecting those 2 points. One more. I'm so much fun. I wish there was more to do. Let's call you x sub 1, y sub 1. And let's call you x sub 2, y sub 2. My slope formula is m equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And that's going to equal, I called y sub 2 0 there. Always the minus in the middle. I called y sub 1 8. Over, I called x sub 2 1. Always the minus in the middle. And I called x sub 1 negative 11. Look, a double negative. So on the top, I have 0 minus 8, which is negative 8. And on the bottom, I have 1 plus 11, which is 12. That simplifies. You can divide the numerator and the denominator by 4. And when I do that, I have negative 2 over 3, which I should just write out as negative 2 over 3. Okay. Chapter 1 has a lot to do with angles, has a lot to do with solving equations, things that are equal to each other, so this should adequately prepare you to conquer Chapter 1. Alright, bye!